It's Thursday, May 21st, 2020. I bid you peace. In today's gospel, Jesus says, "You will grieve for a time, you will mourn, but your grief will turn to joy." It is a time of mourning and pain, and yet the promise of the risen Christ is that we will all be fine by the grace and love of God. I was at St. Francis Hospital yesterday and again today visiting folks, including Patrick Holleran. Patrick wanted me to tell you, keep your prayers going for him. You may know Patrick coming to Resurrection. He is in his wheelchair, usually at the Saturday night Mass with his cowboy hat. Patrick was in an accident when he was 29, and he has been paralyzed from the waist down. An amazing person of faith. While I was at St. Francis Hospital yesterday, I ran into a friend of mine, a nurse who works there. All the workers there, so amazing. Ginger Jornlin is her name, and she's just remarkable. And while we were talking, she said, "Do you know our CEO?" And she introduced me to the CEO of St. Francis Hospital. A wonderful gentleman, and I was so impressed that he was there. He's participating in the care. Today, when I was at the hospital, I was asked if I would anoint someone who was dying, and it was my honor to do so. It's a horrible time, and there's bad things happening, and yet our grief will turn to joy. The promise of life and love from God is everything. There are people who have questions about the news they're hearing. There's good things that we hear, and there's concerns that remain. Some folks are talking about, they're going to be opening up the churches again. And yet I hear from some folks that they're very worried. Well, the right decision about all of that is whatever you decide is the correct decision. If you feel that it's not in your interest, it's not the best thing, the safest thing to go back to church when it reopens, you don't. Okay? That's the right decision. And others are hearing that I've prayed out back at Resurrection with a few people. And that's true. And we are practicing all the protocols. We don't come near each other. We stay at a distance. We're outside. We're safe. And yet we share the gospel, and we talk about that, and we ask God's blessing in the beauty of creation. If that's something you would like to do, call. In the last weeks, everyone on the staff, all the team, and volunteers, and others as well, have been calling parishioners, asking, finding out, what's going on? How are you? We're connecting, and we want to connect. Call us. Let us know how you're doing. This is a remarkable time. God has not abandoned us. Look around you. Go and look out the window or go outside and see the great beauty of what God is doing. This is God's first scripture, as they say, creation. And it is beauty. And you are God's creation. You are the beauty of God. Peace.